Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Lost in translation. That's a common idea that we hear when translating something from one language to another, and particularly when we're talking about translating the Quran, which is in classical Arabic, pre-classical Arabic, into English. So I want to talk about one of the reasons for that, which is to do with sentence order in Arabic and the flexibility of sentence order in Arabic. So let's look at this verse in Surah Ar-Rahman where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He put the earth in place for all creation. So He put the earth in place for all creation. Allah is telling us that He's blessed us all and has given us so many amazing blessings. And of those amazing blessings is that He put this situation for us and all of the other creatures on earth to benefit from planet Earth. So if we look at a normal structure for that in Arabic, we would say something like this. وَوَضَعَ الْأَرْضَ لِلْأَنَامِ. Right? The focus would be on the verb put in place. That verb would have an implied pronoun, so it's huwa, he. So put in place he. Then the word ard comes after it, so that means the earth. And then lil anam, for all creation, comes after that. So the focus is on the verb. What happened, and then who did it, and then what did it happen to, and then who was the recipient of that action, who was the benefactor. Now we could change that sentence structure a little bit. I now want to focus on the one who's doing the verb, right? I want to focus on the subject now. So now we could throw in this word huwa, and suddenly it would mean وَهُوَ وَضَعَ الْأَرْضِ الْأَنَامِ, and suddenly it would mean focus on Him, i.e. and He, Allah, your Creator, think about Him. He put in place, that's number 2, the earth, that's number 3 now, for all creation, that's number 4. So it's the same message with a different focus. Same message with a different focus. Now we're focusing on the Creator. Not what the Creator did, but the Creator Himself. Now we can change it up again and say lil anam wada al ard, right? For all creation, that's number 1 focus now. Put in place, number 2 focus, and then He, and then the earth. Okay, there's 3 ways we can do it so far. Now we can do something else. We can also do this. وَالْأَرْضَ وَضَعَ لِلْأَنَامِ. We put a little fatha on the dad, and that means object. So even if it comes first, it's still understood that it's the object. So, and the earth, as the object, put in place, He, for all creation. So now the focus is not us, the one who is benefiting from this act, nor is it the action itself, nor is it the actor, Allah, the Creator, but rather the focus is the earth. Allah saying, focus on the earth, look at it, look how amazing it is, and remember that this is what Allah did. It's a different focus. Now we can do another kind of focus. Okay, another kind of focus. We can make it the subject of the sentence. Very confusing. Basically impossible to translate into English. Literally translated, this would be something like this. And the earth is put He it for people. That's a literal translation. That doesn't sound very mean much in English, but that's it. The earth is put it down, He it for all creation. So a rough translation, which is kind of the same as the previous one, the earth, so again focusing on the earth, put it in place, He for all creation. The issue then is that there's kind of 2 words that point to earth, right? It's not only that it comes first and it's a focus, but also there's 2 words that focus on it. See this ha, which means it, that refers to the earth. So we're essentially saying the word earth twice, right? So it's going to have to translate it like this, right? Not just with a cap, not just bold, but also with underline, right? So we're going to have to make it bold and underline it in order to convey the texture and the flavor and the emphasis that's coming out in the Arabic. Now we can do something else again. وَالْأَرْضَ وَضَعَ اللَّهُ لِلْأَنَامِ. Now, we are going to throw in the word ard in the beginning, but not just in the beginning, but with a fatha. So that means, again, that it's the object of the sentence, not the subject sentence. So now we have وَضَعَهَا لِلْأَنَامِ. Now we have the word, the earth, that came at the beginning of the sentence, so it's a focus. Then the second focus is put in place. The third focus is he did it. And the fourth focus was for all creation. Then we have to underline it again because it's kind of been said twice, right? We said وَضَعَهَا, so the ha referred to the earth, so it has to be emphasized. But then there's another texture to it. It's not just super flavored and super enhanced, but there's also, because of the fatha on it, there's a kind of shadow behind it. There's a shadow of a verb. At the end of the day, it is a object of a verb. So it needs a verb. So what it really means then is there's basically two verbs. So this is super nuanced. What we're trying to say is focus on the earth, but not on the earth in itself. Focus on the earth and then focus on it again, but focus on it from the point of view of it being an object, not the point of view of being a subject. I.e., think about the thing that happened to it. And think about the action that happened to it. So we're kind of focusing on the on that thing, on the earth, vis-a-vis in respect to that creative act that happened to it. That's a very subtle thing, and it's basically impossible to translate. So we're going to translate it like this, and put in place in grey, if you could even pronounce that in English, because it's not really there. It's kind of in brackets, so to speak. The earth, which is really emphasized because it's mentioned twice, and then put in place comes twice, so I guess you can make that bold as well. I don't know how to really do that. And then he, and for all creation, right? So you ask the question, how on earth am I supposed to translate that, right? Forgive the pun. How on earth am I supposed to translate that into English and get away that kind of makes sense? How am I supposed to get all those flavors out? I can't. It's literally lost in translation. An attempt would be something like this. And the earth did he, right? I threw in the word did before the word he to kind of compensate a little bit for the idea that there's a great emphasis on what he did, right? And that the action is being focused more than the he, and that the earth is being focused more than the action, but it really is lost in translation. Again, if we don't learn Arabic grammar, and if we don't learn Arabic rhetoric. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.